Hello, and welcome back to the stream if you had joined me earlier in the day. Earlier in the day, I was actually drawing. I was working on a little animation thing, a little animatic, and my wrist needs a break, so I'm not helping it by playing some more games, but I wanted to keep the stream going. I've only been on stream for about an hour now, so I wanted to play a little bit of Sunless Sea. It's part 2 because we played a little bit on Tuesday, actually. So I'm gonna load my game, which is the autosave, I believe. Ooh, so Sunless Sea is a very interesting game. Let me show you what it is right here. It's loading right now. So we are at Port Cavendish, a scatter of yellow-lit honey dens and brightly painted alehouses. To the southeast rises the stone tower of Cavendish Abbey, its ramparts hung with crimson and gold banners. There are sailors from all across the Neath hauling cargo, dicing and brawling good-naturedly on the docks. The air carries a sound of sea shanties sung with more enthusiasm than skill, and the smell of roses edged with brimstone. Ambition, where can you taste red honey? The salt-scarred navigator said he tasted memories of a failed expedition against an immortal city. Where's the one who gave it to him? The Honey Tongue is a both brothel and honey den, run by someone in the caddies referred to as the King's Claw. Cavendish Abbey. Buy a shipment of red honey. This is for my ambition. Seek Islery on the Isle Icery. Manages the honeyed tongue. Okay. Entering the brothel is like sliding into the dream of a surface orientalist. Jewel-embroidered cushions, bright silk drapes, gilded statues of elephants, sun-bearers and clouded leopards. Silver censers release curling plumes of rose-scented smoke into the air. The courtesans are red-lipped and coal-smudged. When you reach their eyes, they smile back at you with professional interest. Your actions will attract the Pirate King's notice. You need 5 Pirate King's notice to gain an offer from a patron. A meeting with the King's Claw. And you have 1 notice. You know, of course, only the particulars may have slipped your mind. Convert a Z-Captain. A Z-Captain is weeping gently into a courtesan's bosom, muttering of her lost crew and rose gardens. 60 fragments. Or swap tales with a honey smuggler. Oh, I don't have enough Z stories. They're all tending the gardens now, she wails, and begins to weep again. My poor crew. You wait for a hitch in the sobs and inquire further. The slow, delicate business strong answers out of her, but you are nothing if not perseverant. It seems her crew has been conscripted by the Lady of Gardens, and their duties are something far worse than horticulture. You leave her reading the names of her lost sailors and commending them to Salt's mercy. I lost 60 fragments. Okay. Ask what red honey is. One of the nearby courtesan's eyebrows lifts infinitesimally, but his reply is practiced. When lamplighter bees suck the nectar of the crimson strain of exile's rose, they are driven to madness. They enter the brains of humans and harvest their memories. Those memories are instilled in red honey. Each sip is a burst of memory on the tongue. Deliciously awful, isn't it? He flutters his dyed feathered fan. Okay. Huh. Cavendish's Abbey. The crimson-clad mellifluous sisters patrol its ramparts and tend to their hives of lamplighter bees. Their thick gloves and crimson mesh helmets are worn less for modesty and more for practicality. They tend the hives of the lamplighter bees all across the isle, and make for a religious observance of harvesting red honey for the Pirate King. The Lady of the Gardens offer. Her name, she says, is Zyra. You should use it. Gossip with a novice. She could really use a lamentable relic. Best not to ask her what for. And I don't have a lamentable relic. Fuel for the bee smokers. The sister who tends the smokers is the talkative sort. Ooh, I don't have a lot of fuel. Can I buy fuel here? Okay, I'll have to come back. Okay. Shipyard officers. Okay. Sell sunlight. I don't have a sunlight filled box, but that's a nice concept. So let me take a look at my map here. Quite a large map, but I haven't been to many places. So I need more money. I think I can get that if I go back to London. I'm going to do that by going north to help the cove. So let's head on out. Oh, oops. How do I not go at full power? Help the cove. Here we go. Probably shouldn't have gone at full speed because full power to the engine probably burned a lot of my fuel. Stop here. Oh, this is Visage. I've been here before. Let's launch again. We're gonna go around Visage. 2 speed. And use the Z-Bat. Gotta move my chat down. Okay. There's something underwater some distance to the east. Well, I can't get underwater yet. Flourishing of years. Reef of Roses. Interesting. Vent the crew. Distant bell. Something awaits you in port. Oh, there's a ship there that I can port at. What can I get here, sir? Oh, I don't have recent news, and I don't have enough echoes. Lower the music just a touch. Let's send out my Z-Bat to check what's going on around there. No islands. All clear. I'm gonna go a little bit further and then make a left. Baker's Haven. Go away. She's a vile old vessel, and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Cache of curiosities, a box full of mystery. Source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. 5 supplies. Hell, yes. I think I just need to attack ships more. We got another. We got 1 fuel. Okay. Not great. And we got damage. Baker's Haven. Explore the shore. Is it the hilltop above town? Let's see. Excuse me. Toasting the wind. You stand on a cliff top, looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts upward. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins to a pencil smudge, and then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly, like a god cut in half. What a noise. It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least, that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from their shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. The wind is southerly. I gained 26 fragments. And some terror. So I succeeded the page's challenge. No shops here. So let's go back to Fallen London and hopefully get some echoes for fuel. Because I can't do anything without fuel. Murray Straits. Ooh. Rural Megaloth. Full damage. Oh, crap. You can repair it in London's dry dock or at Z. Dissect it for knowledge or butcher it for supplies. We fed our feast. Lost 40 hunger. Okay. Could have dissected it for knowledge, perhaps. I'll do that next time, unless I'm low on food. Repairs at 0 slow and consumes supplies. Yeah, so let's go back to London. Let's get back to fallen London. Wolfstack Docks. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. Interesting. Collect messages from the harbor master. Something changes underneath. Someone wants to sign on. The blind bruiser attends to business on the dock. Okay. Good evening, Captain. And what a marvelous evening it is, if you don't mind me saying so. And given it is my impression that you are obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. Perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo if you happen to be in the area. The cheery man will, of course, cover your expenses for the trifling inconvenience. It is, after all, only a trifling inconvenience. I might take it. Sure. An unstamped crate of brilliant souls. I need to go to Mount Palmerston. Okay. Let's read the morning papers. Get some recent news. I gained some supplies and lost one terror. I don't have enough money to reduce my terror. How much? I need 1,000 echo to get an elegant townhouse. London. Let's visit the Admiralty's survey office. Fee is nominal for the command, so there's only 5. Isle of Cats. And what does the so-called Pirate King have to say for himself these days? Yes, well, we did rather know about his rose gardens. Not good news that they're prospering, though. Really should have nipped it in the, if you'll allow me, bud. And the trading with the the Iron Republic? Father, I may have to have a meeting about this. Okay. I got fuel. Visage. Ah, the island that looks up. I don't suppose you found out what it's staring at. 40 echo. Another favor. Another fuel. Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? 5 echo. Asked to speak to the dark spectacled admiral. No appointment, but apparently I'm to show you in anyway. Very well. You're ushered into the office of Mansion's Pyre, a cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across that desk. Ah, yes. The merchant captain of whom we hear such complicated things. Ask for assistance with subsistence, a little fuel. This will get you to the dry dock, where 1 point of favor will get you 2 to 3 fuel. Ooh. I don't have vital intelligence to provide. Trade them in here. Speak of moves in the great game. Okay, I got 30 echo. Gained a favor. He has you repeat it all twice. He doesn't take notes. A little beyond me, he tells you. But I have a friend in the palace who'll be interested. Very, very much. Thank you. Your fee. Let's get 2 to 3 fuel. Visit the Admiralty's fuel store. If you've done good work, the Admiralty will issue you a book with of little chitties. This will exchange 1 point of favor for 2 to 3 fuel. LNS will do a fair job for a decent price, but they have a reputation for cutting corners. Repair my hull. You may call in some of your Admiralty's favors to have a cheap, good quality work done. Employ Radis Barber at Engineers. 3 supplies. The rats of fallen London are remarkably skilled engineers. They know ships well. They are not, however, reliable. Payment is in kind, not currency. Okay. I need fuel. Success. Eventually. The good, free fuel. The bad, a half-hour argument with the quartermaster who insists that your chitties have not been stamped by the Office of Incongruous Requests. Eventually, she grudgingly permits you to load your fuel cart. Hearts 36 failed challenge. Try again, you may have better luck. Gained 2 fuel and lost 1 favor. Let's try this again. Ooh, failed again, but I got 2 more fuel. So I do want to fix my hull, and I have 3 favors. So I'll do that. Okay. Your ship is in acceptable shape, thank you. Okay, so I need to survey 3 more ports. You can visit the university to get secrets. Rose Market. Perhaps not. Carouse in Wolfstack Docks. There is no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. Matter of luck, pretty good odds. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. When they recruit. I have a doctor here. 1 heart, 6 iron. I don't want to buy recruit. Okay, London again. Let's carouse in Wolfstock Docks. A marvelous night out. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. Lost 5 terror, lost 10 echo, recent news. That night in Wolfsack, you found yourself sharing a table with a dapper chap. An elegant fellow with a Presbyterian accent and an unexpectedly delighted laugh. By the evening's end, it seems natural he should accompany you home. The next morning, he gives you a golden locket. Don't lose it, he says with a grin. Then he grows suddenly grave. Truly, don't lose it. I lost 3 more terror. Very nice. Let's take a tomb passenger to Vendor Blight. Hold journal officer's shop. Okay. We have in our hold, we have 8 fuel. 10 echoes. 9, 10. Wolf stack exchange. First skin of prisoners, honey. And sell the parabola linen. Deck, auxiliary, bridge, and engines. I already have this on the deck, so I have auxiliary and bridge. Just looking at what I can see here in the shops. Nothing though. Surgeon, speak to. It's not. Mascot, speak to, entertain him. He's ticklish. That's funny. Okay. We have a bunch of stuff. We can launch. Gotta go to Vendor Bite to the north. Yeah, just straight north. Just make a little bit of extra money that way. And then we'll start sailing across the northern area so that we can get more port reports. Dust, echoes, even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel ship's biscuit. It waggles its antenna impertinently. Notified the crew. Services point right up here. Vendor bites. Your passenger has been drinking. Ahoy, she chortles. Defend yourself. She launches a tipsy assault. Your crew hang back, chuckling. Thanks, crew. And it was an effortless defense. I had a 100% chance at succeeding because I have very high iron. Some of them are the deadliest combatants under the earth. Possibly this one is when she hasn't drunk quite so much rum. You'll never know. She salutes you, laughing after you disarm her. Good fight. She then staggers backward and falls over the side. You never do find what happened to her, but at least you have her rather magnificent cavalry saber and her belongings. Let's get this spot out of here. There we go. So I brought the tomb colonists to Venderbite and defended them in an unexpected duel. I have an outlandish artifact, which belongs in a museum, assuming that colonial imperial appropriation for the purpose of hegemonic taxonization is suitable response for the problem of intercultural contact, which it probably is because museums are magnificent institutions. If you've made an ironclad will, you can convert a collection of these into an heirloom for your successor. Huh. I gained iron, I lost a tomb colonist, and I gained 2 supplies. Interesting. Gather gossip. Explore Venderbite. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. 1 building in 3 seems abandoned. The Carmine Chapel. A little chapel stands alone. You poke your head through the door. The walls are a deep red, just the side of scarlet. A ruby-tinted window at the back glows with a steady light. An electric lamp behind the glass. Rare and expensive, but this is no gaslight. No one is here, and yet you have the sensation that only a moment ago someone must have been. Ooh. I can make an offering, or I can search the place. Or leave. Let's make an offering. An uncertain outcome. Prayer soothes your soul, they say. Your soul is not soothed. You wait, head bent, while the light in the chapel beats on, shadowless and unmoved. Nothing changes. The red of the place gets into your vision. The faces of your crew seemed flushed, as if fevered. You hear your own breathing echo raggedly. No one is sitting in the pew behind you. It doesn't stop you looking. The scene will stay with you. Perhaps you can write of it when you return to London. That's all for now. I have a tale of terror. Interesting. Ooh. Well, I don't have the tomb colonist to sell. Fuel. Do I need more fuel? Yeah. Okay. Let us launch. And we are going to... do we go more north? Just to see? I think so. Snow's up here. Pickett's Bluff. I'm gonna send the Z-Bat out to search for other islands up here. No islands. Boreal Reach. Is this snow? Snow seeps down from the north. The engines labor against it. Let's continue on. Oh yeah, I can't go faster when I'm up here. Snow. Pants Abyss. bat swarm. Let's check it out. Dispose of the corpses to lose some terror. I lost 10 points of health. Don't lose it. Risk for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely and Z captains die young. Let's keep it. You have a sweetheart in London. For now, your affair with your officer is forgotten. Send the Z-Bat out again. No islands within range. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. Snares. Labyrinth of eels. Ooh. Thoughts of home come at the strangest time. Warmly lit windows, company, peace. Okay. You've gained a secret by discovering Dubois Maelstrom for 50 fragments. So we do not want to get sucked into that, so let's go around it. Oh man, 150. Oh man, this thing's gonna kill me. I gotta keep going backwards. Oh my god. It's got so much health, I was not expecting that. Ah, 10 damage. More damage. Okay. Not good, not good, not good, not good. I cannot believe I killed that thing. Horrifying. Unprepossessing mass. An appalling glob of organic matter and dripping fluids retrieved from somewhere you'd rather not think about. And open an unpossessing mass. Probably something horrible inside, but probably there's not. Choice cuts. It won't keep, but it looks tasty. Lost 28 hunger, gained a terror. 2 Zailers complain that the meat sighs melodramatically when the cutlery is applied to it. They are probably engaging in mischief, but your crew becomes nervous. Nervous, but satiated. Damn. Okay. So we used some supplies to heal up. There is Pigmoat Isle. Can we port here? Sure can. Saints Haven. On a lonely desert beach, there's no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree into a mushroom. Disembark, see what awaits you. Or, as you step out onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see off in the distance smoke rising from beyond the hill, and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. Following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Sea Captain from London to Irem and What We Did Before We Arrived, washed ashore on Mutton Island, and subsequently serialized into an unexpurgated gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The tale of Pigmoat Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Chapter 1, The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Radis Faber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig wearing a helmet and a breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the High Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. Welcome, Captain, to the Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, Second Chief Engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat stepped back. At precisely the same moment, with what appeared to be the ease of long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Cabia. I am Lady Augusta Devereux, Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches. Seneschal to our King Grace Naw. First of his name, I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. Ooh. I spoke to the chief engineer. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. We came to the island to make a home for ourselves, away from London. Its cats and snuffers, its rat skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, and our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the Rat Star and shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hills. One day we braved the depth of Chicken Woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the Rat Star to be our light, our beacon. The pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? Let's speak to Seneschal. Grace Naw, the king. Okay, so she adds that we saw truth and beauty by the light of Our Lady's eye in Mount Caveat, but the rats with their guns and their chatter and their peasant politics stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back? No. I'm ready to make a choice. Surely their commonalities were more numerous than their differences. Perhaps I could help them get along. My words helped them reach agreement. The chief engineer and the seneschal shared a look and then regarded me with scornful amusement. Yes, smirked the chief engineer. You're obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much. You clearly know much more than we know ourselves. Apparently, idealism would not help here. So let's side with the chief engineer. A friend to rats. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. We gained a fuel supply, and I chose to help the rats. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats smoldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I'd encountered in London. Oh wait, my camera's looking kind of weird. One moment. There we go. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chickenwood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow, and it was almost too bright to look at. By the light, I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water. An albino rat mended nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks, where the sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. "Welcome to Murani," said the chief engineer, warm with pride. "It's not much to look at now, but we will once we've roused the cabbies. Take a stroll while I summon the war council." I visited the rat barracks. We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went as far to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. "There's more of us below ground," she explained, "but not enough. The cabbies are bigger and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish, and we nibble the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees." The cabbies came with their own steamer and seemed to have endless supplies. We raid them sometimes, but there's so few of us and we can never hold on to territory gained for long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic and the Rat Star. Of course, we want that too. Let's take a closer look at the Rat Star. An excitable-looking rat peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. Blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. It's not a star, of course, not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says it's better for morale. But look at it. Look. She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was scintillac, but unlike anything I had seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of the color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. Those of us who have been to the cabbie side of the island and lived to tell of it say there are plenty of glow there. Plenty of bright in the water all round, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's sweet water inside, and coral crawling up the walls of it, but nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us. Let's head down to the beach, where the green billows played. An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things. Blind fish, crab, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the Rat Star. I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. I finished my exploration. The bells of the War Council rang. I was summoned. Um... We engineered a distraction that the LBs could use to plunder the cabbie's ship and turn the tide on their flavor. That's a tough challenge, but I could take the lead. I had a ship, I had cannons. We would steer her to the southern side of the island and have at those uppity animals. Let's do that. I got an 85% chance, so a palpable hit. The rats gave me what information they possessed about the cabbie settlement, and I still had to improvise a great deal on the spot. A perfect storm of speed, stealth, and strength in arms favored us. Our cannons let a volley of shot into the beach before the cabbies could scramble onto their grounded ships to man its guns. Screams and squeals filled the air. The enemy fled. A damp hush settled over my crew as the smoke cleared to reveal torn, bloodied bodies of guinea pigs littering the shore. A grim business, but I had honored my commitment to the rats and found wealth of skintalak, bringing beach to harvest as spoils. Your Pigmont Isle might quality is 5, adequate. Civilization quality is 4, troubled. Spirit quality is conflicted, 3, skintalak. If these reach 0, bad things will happen to Pigmont Isle. Coral that glimmers as if moonlight. It makes marvelous jewelry for terribly expensive tea, and another bale of parabola linen. I invited one of the raddest farber to join us. After all, what's a ship without a few rats? I interceded on behalf of the cabbies. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see their spirits broken without the light of the rat star to guide them. They needed an advocate. A grudging concession. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the cabbies suffered the loss of the light from the center of the island. Perhaps they were only trying to get it back, not steal it from the rats. The chief engineer looked troubled at the thought. We only wanted to be left alone. Perhaps further negotiation is possible. As I left, I saw the albino rat timidly offering young cabbie prisoner a piece of fresh flesh. Fresh fish. Forged peace between the rats and the cabbies. Optimistic quality. Yay. What about this guy? Chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my request to his people. The albino rat I saw mending the net shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects to say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. Cool. Officers. So, it is time to continue our voyage and see what wonders and terrors still await us. The end. There, you finished your diary entry, and the final dregs of the rat surprisingly good wine. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. A new nation has been founded. Fails +2. That could work. Okay. So we got Pigmont Isle. Let's go a little bit more south and maybe go back to London. I don't know. We don't have a ton of fuel. Bonnie Reefs. Here, the wilder airs mingled with the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for the navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Discovered Demo Island. at Demo Island. Discovered iron in the Misery Co. plunging station. And I've gained a secret. Speak to your officers to improve your abilities. So I think I have 2 secrets, so I should be able to do that without much of a problem. I&M has a funder operation here, felling giant boleus shrooms for building materials, harvesting corelli for its medicinal properties. The Admiralty asked you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strained smile. Yes, I have it here. The courier ship to Mount Palmerston stopped off to resupply. Tell the Admiralty. Tell them I miss my children. Tell them I can't take it here much longer. The spores. The dark. Let's get a port report. Gather supplies. Accept a volunteer. I have 9. No more than 9. 1 echo. Okay. I have a total of 10. Huh. Okay. Shops. Don't have enough to buy anything. Okay, hold on. I gotta take a quick break, but let me put on a little bit of music and I will be back in just a little bit. Let me actually find the music that I want to play. Wave runner, there it is. So I will be back in just a little bit. Thank you for hanging out with me or watching back on this spot later. Let me know in the comments what you think of the story so far and our progress. And I will be right back. Hello. Welcome to the stream, or welcome back if you have been here earlier in the day. I'm Ghost. You can find me at artghosts, ARTGH0STS, all below there. I'm on Blue Sky, Patreon, Coffee, the works. But I was doing some art earlier today, and now I'm playing some of Sunless Sea, having some fun with the story. We're just gonna keep on playing. So we've got, let me turn the music off. We got some oceany sounds in the background here. And we're gonna continue. Okay. We do want to head back to Fallen London, I think. Or speak to improve your hearts, or improve your hearts. 36. There we go. Yeah, let's keep going. What is this? Moody's light? Discovered Hearable Point. We only have 3 fuel left. Oh boy. Oh, be right back. Sorry for the second break there. That was a bit unexpected. My mom wanted to talk to me about something. So, we're back with Sunless Sea. Let me show you what we've got on our map here. We're coming back to Fallen London. Lightship, speak to the crew. We gained a Z story. We got 2 now. That's good. And we're going back to Fallen London. I need a better chef is what I need. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Lower the volume just a tad. Here we go. Story, my lodging. Let's get some more. Fuel. Let's sell one of those for 70. Buy some more fuel. There we go. Torpedo components. Actually, I've got to go to the Admiralty's office. Pigmont Isle. I'm not certain I heard you correctly. You're quite so certain of this report you wish to make? So be it. Demo Gate. You've been to Demo's Gate? Strategic information. Indeed, indeed. I'll send you up directly to speak with the Admiral himself. I'm going to pass on strategic information. He sits up, although he steeples his fingers and pretends calm. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory, he says at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you've been paid. How much? Ooh. I only have 3 favor. Discover the Admiral's desires. Information. We'll be interested in the port report. Please visit places of particular interest, and you'll be interested in the strategic information you gain thereby. We will pay you well, don't worry. We understand you can't be expected to act entirely for the love of the Empire. What's left of it. Ask if there's anything in particular he needs. This port. Polythreme, somewhere a good way east of London. Okay. Rose Market? I don't have a watch for Curio. Huh. Devil Bone Dice. Approve romantic literature. Interesting. Okay. So I have a lot of stuff here. Let me go to my lodgings. Rest in the room. I have had a restful night. Okay. We're gonna go out past London to the east. Past Moho Island, perhaps. We'll see. We shall see. I'm gonna stop by here and get another Z story. The recent news that I got. So let's keep going. I got another fuel as well. Always good to go 2-speed. It just gets you places faster. Yeah, it uses more fuel, but it's worth it. The phosogene bleaks. Phosogene bleaks. Oh no. Ugh. 5 damage. Oh. Oh boy. Why are you sending flares my direction? I don't know how to fight on this boat. Get out of here. I can't believe I defeated that one. Oh my god. Investigate the wreckage. Legendary clay woman Corsair. She clings tight to the last few scraps of floating debris, defeated but defiant. Claim a bounty. Ooh. The price of freedom. It takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate poet from the Z's clutches, while others mutter about bringing an unfinished woman aboard ship. She just smirks. She carries little on her but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch. From an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price for her current bounty. As much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved once she is aboard a lifeboat, rowing away through the darkness toward Gator's Morn. 400 Echo. Wow! I have to go back and repair my ship. There's no way. No possible way for me to repair the ship at Z. Can I repair at all the funging station? Funging station? Tea with the factor. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking over the fungal jungle, an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores, the scones are stale, even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and rose of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and the little restaurant in Vanderbite, where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Vanderbite, I know. I never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also had a load of Olagus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I've eaten so much of the stuff I fear that I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidently towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot first. Got supplies. Been told of an exceptionally fine restaurant in Vanderbite. Let us go. Repair my ship. I have the money to repair my ship at least. So there is that. There is that. I need to get more supplies. I have fuel. I just need more supplies. Oops. Went back into the dock. Back in home waters. Your lodgings. Read the morning paper. Go. I need another secret. Repair your ship in the dry dock. Completely repair your hull. 24 echo, very nice. Let's buy some supplies. Flare. Let's buy a flare. Secure compartment. Cargo security. I don't have an aft on this ship. I just wasted the money. Damn. Okay. Whisper locked puzzle box. You've learned the phrase to open it. You can do so here. If not, what do you intend? No. Port report of the Moho Island. I need 3 more. Yeah, I still have to go to Gators Morn. I don't know where that is. Huh. Well, head back out. New engine or a deck weapon would be a good first purchase. Well, I kind of screwed that up. I got too eager. And we've got 4 Z stories. Pretty nice. Oops, I keep accidentally docking. Western angler crab. Oh boy. Okay. Shoot it again. Shoot it again. Keep shooting. And damage. High risk challenge. Lost 30 hunger. Cool. Let's keep going. I don't have a lot of echoes. That's no good. Still sending out the Z-Bat. No islands within range. Distant bells. Let's send the Z-Bat out again. Corsair's Forest. Our lookouts are watchful. I don't know what's out here. A baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone out of some distant desert. You're close to the salt lions. Discovered Massey's shaft. Gator's Morn. Where is that? Up here? Perfect. This is where I need to be. Ekin Rock. Gator's Morn. Morn is a stalagmite vast as a crag, and the foot has no safe harbors. Corsair's Citadel nestles halfway up. The intricate system of winches takes the strain, and your ship rises slowly from the Z. Her hull creaks in protest. Grizzled sailors groan and cling to the stanchions. Higher, higher. Now the undersea shimmers like glass below. Children clamoring in crevices cheer and wave alarmingly. The winch motor slows, and you hang in a cradle next to the red-bowed pirate cutter. Drop off August Travel Rider. Here's your payment, Captain. I'll be back by the evening bell. We'll discuss my next destination then. Travel Rider sets across the planks with good speed. His briefcase in hand, it seems heavy, although he claimed it held only documents and writing equipment for an interview with the Pirate King. The day passes relatively peacefully. There are brawls, but in good fun. The blood washed away with the celebratory beer. By night, the boisterous cheer has given way to the whispers about an uncommonly brutal murder executed within an experimental shipyard. They say you couldn't enter the yard without stepping in the victim. The travel writer returns. He greets you with a curt nod as he boards your ship. Okay. Awful thing, that murder. Commonplace here, I suppose. Fortunately, my interview was illuminating and my business on the morn is complete. We can depart. I have another port to visit if you care for another 150 echoes. Why not? Command Canal next, I think. Okay. We could do that. Gator's Morn. Okay. Drinking Den by the docks cradles is a good place for your crew to find companionship and let off steam. But although Gator's Morn is free port, the Corsairs prefer their own and look askance at respectable Londoners. Explore the Morn. Introduce Blemigans to the Morn. Oh, I don't have a docile Blemigan. Okay. Gather intelligence. Gator's Morn swarms with pirates, smugglers, and captains of uncertain allegiance. You could learn a lot here, but you'll need to go carefully. In caution, a steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slops over the edge of the tubs, over the edge to join the Z far below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of the prizes they've taken and the victims they have marked out. You listen from the shadows. You succeeded in a Veils challenge. Very nice. Let's... An evening at Aaron Limpet. A rousing evening, nevertheless. Your crew teaches the Limpet a whole cycle of epically filthy sea shanties. At one point, you could swear you hear your name inserted in one of the more complex verses, but you maintain a diplomatic silence. Explore the Morn. There's a surprising quantity of actual landscape on the Morn. It's vertical, admittedly, but once you find the beast paths and the urchin roads, you can traverse it as you would a rocky moor with the additional throatful of lurching terror. A high place, the Z like a ripple sheet of night green jade, the roof of the neath above, bellied with stalactites and prickled with false star. Look out across the water. What are you thinking of? Your past as a soldier? Your sweetheart? Or your future? Sweetheart. You've been here too long and you're attracting the wrong kind of attention. Time to move on. Aaron Limpet. Ooh, I should buy stuff and sell stuff, huh? The friendly face. Ooh, unstamped crate of brilliant souls? What was I doing with that? Okay. Where was I bringing this? Hmm. Polythreme. Doom colonist. Interesting. I sold it. Fuck it. Why not? Let's buy some fuel. Okay. I am going to take a break right here, and I will be back in just a little bit. Thank you for hanging out with me or watching back on this VOD later. I'll see you in just a little bit. Well, hello, I am back. I'm Ghost. You can find me at ArtGhosts Online, ARTGH0STS. We're playing some Sunless Sea tonight. Tonight? It's not night yet, it's daytime. It feels like night because we're in the Undersea. We just finished up here at Gator's Morn. I believe we have to go to the Main Canal. Unless it's something else. Polythreme. Good way east of London. Command Canal. Yeah. So let's go south. Very little terror, which I'm glad for. Ekin Rock. Ooh. Pirate Frigate. Crew 10, only 90 health. Do I want to do it? I don't think I do unless he goes after me. I keep going south. Maybe a little bit southeast. Or west, sorry. Southwest. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. The salt lions. Ooh, let's see the salt lions. Discovered the salt lions. Discovered Zealport. Let's hit this port. Hang out at the salt lions for a little bit. With the crew. 2 basalt beasts, cathedral sized. Compile a port report. Visit the Unmakers. Muscular pick wielders rest on camp stools watching you approach, passing hip flasks around. An unctuous overseer beckons you to sit. The face of the northern sphinx is all but gone. Lost faces are sacred to salt, they say. You are drawn there. To what end? Salt's voice is distant but clear. Into the Z. Dive from the Sphinx's face, down a clean arc into the Z's chilly darkness. Float there in the quiet until your lungs are bursting, until light blooms behind your eyes. Rise, gasping to the prickle of false stars, the shocked faces of your crew. You've brought something with you. That's all for now. I got 7 terror. The gods of the Z salt's attention quality has gone. You now have 1 extraordinary implication. How can such a thing be? But who but you could understand what it means? Interesting. Carry Sphinx Stone to London. You'll need a deposit and 20 units of spare cargo space. Elderly steeple engine. Okay, I need to upgrade that as soon as I can. Actually, shops? No. Ship? Guess not. Okay, let's go west of the command canal for the writer. I have a secret. More hearts. East Central. Z-Bat, tell me what's around me. Okay, I needed to fix my hole. A row of watchful Z-Bats perched on a ship's railing. Their heads swivel in unison. Z-Bat swarm. Let's go see what we can do with this. We're at almost half hunger. That's fine. Wonder if I can trade for a Z story. Distant bells. Get fucked, pirates, Team Pinnace. Pinnace? I don't know. Let's see what we got. Loot and scuttle her. Lean pickings. 4 supplies. Very nice. Just what I was hoping for. Command canal. Command canal. We'll reach there shortly. Nothing that the Z-Bat found, I don't think. Yeah. Far below something moves. We've reached January 1st, 1888. The crew grows wistful. They swap old stories of the Sunless Sea. We draw near to the command canal, the way to the surface. Giannotti Harbor and the Albertine Gates. Drop off August travel writer. Got another 150 echo and a final request. In the middle of your afternoon tea, a crowd rushes by the cafe. They gather at the foot of a lamppost, gawking, shrieking, gasping. A woman is strung from the light, her face sliced like Venetian blinds. Heavens, a pale navigator whispers. Isn't she the explorer? She's meant to plant a flag on the Z bed? You spy the travel writer in the crowd, frowning. I have one last port to visit. There's 200 echoes in it for you this time. Sure. Khan's heart. Take me there whenever is most convenient. Travel to the surface. Surface gossip. Smooths was a great game. Shops. I don't want to send anything overboard. That's not what the goal is. I just need a better ship. Or Carnelian. Okay. Let's go back to the Cat Island. Isle of Cats. Finish pursuing my immortality and whatnot. We'll go south. Follow the coast south. See what we can find. Maybe get some secrets, upgrade our hearts a little bit. Looks like there's really nothing over here. And no islands that the Z-Bat has found. Fed the crew. Gotta adjust my mic real quick. We are under the hand of the Iron Republic. Coil of rope stung a stoker and the fellows beat it to death. Covered the Iron Republic. Discovered Cudgel's Bluff. Fuck off. Van Horn Harbor. Hell's client state. Be wary. Their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions. Engage an officer, the irrepressible cannoneer. It's a gunnery officer who can substantially increase iron. Captain, are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? Welcome aboard. This is interesting. Room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me make notes. Paper. Ooh. Officers. Gunnery officer. Very nice. Compile a port report. No more than 14. The streets won't lie straight. The ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. I've gained 2 hearts. The Parliament of Flies is open for business. I've gained a tale of terror and the memory of distant shores. So new passions. The sensations of the Republic are overwhelming. This is a desire for years. That is a hatred for fountains. Here is an emotion that can only be expressed mathematically. Now you are awash with nostalgia for a hatching of an egg. Write it down. Write it all down. Perhaps you'll be rid of it. Tittering Artificer Project. A secret. Stygian Ivory and 12 Devil Bone dice. Huh. Market of Hungers. The Parliament of Flies. Today, flies fill its arcades. Terror in a fragment. Visit the shops tab. House of Pleasures. The flies will caress you with their wings. Hurry up and purchase something. Judgment's Egg. Fuel. Ooh. 8 echoes is all it is. Dread Surmise. Sell. Buy. 57 echoes. 74. Not bad. We'll hold on to 1. Romantic literature. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna buy some more fuel. Because it's so cheap. Hold on, I want to go to the surface. Okay, so I just bought all the fuel. Nice. Oh, my cargo's full. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Let's keep going. Lots of big, scary ships. We need to go to the Isle of Cats, though. Discovered the unfinished revolutionaries of the Iron Republic. Interesting. So, let's head back to the Isle of Cats. Fury enthusiasm is welcome, but unnerving. But is a welcome but unnerving trait in a gunner. That's funny. Okay, so there's something awaiting us in a port. Let's repair our hull. That's enough for now because we don't have a lot of supplies. Isle of Cats is a little bit more north. The false stars above are feral amber like tiger's eyes. Bamford's expands name for the one who lost his child to cats. Interesting. Isle of Cats, here it is. Fort Cavendish. Chief Engineer. And a first officer is what I need still. port. The honey tongue. 4. Story. So, fuel for the bee smokers. Gossip with a novice. Lady of Garda's offer. Meeting with the abbess. Ah, I don't have the news. The sister tells you that the Pirate King went to Abbey Rock 50 years ago and asked the abbess to send some of her novices to Port Cavendish. You ask why, and she shakes her head. The better question is, why did the abbess send her precious novices to a place like this? You suggest a hefty bribe or perhaps coercion. The sister cackles harshly. The sisters of the Rock respect strength of arms, which of course the Pirate King knows only too well. He challenged the abbess to a duel and won. She didn't have much choice then. Ask our abbess if you don't believe me. She was one of those very novices sent across the sea. I have a bunch of fragments. Okay. I need 5. 600 echo. And a key to the Cage Gardens. No more than 4. Aw. Okay. So I can't do much. What do I have to do here? I now have 60 fragments. So I can now go to the honey tongue. Him for the Z captain. Okay. A meeting with the King's Claw. The Claw keeps a suite in the maze of corridors above the brothel. The King's Claw tells you to call them Isery. They are dressed in azure silk and wearing clawed rings of enameled metal and ivory on the fingers of their right hand. They are very beautiful, if you like them sharp and glittering and ambiguously gendered. You've caught my interest of the Pirate King, and therefore my interest as well, they say, fixing you with amber-eyed gaze. You seem capable enough, and I have need of a capable friend. You can only have one patron on the Isle of Cats. Choose well. Discuss the well-traveled notary's memories. Your quest has led you here. You need to know what the notary knew about Nida, about the Presbyterian, about the secret of immortality. The deal with Isery. The cat's chiefest claw meets you in their suite with a distracted air and a raised eyebrow. You raise the matter of the well-traveled notary's memories. Isery taps a clawed finger ring on the stem of a wine glass. The sound of it's silvery and sharp. I see someone's been talking. I'm reluctant. The notary's only has a taste or 2 left in him. I was saving them for myself. This Nida business. Fascinating. Offer a preposterous price. It's enough for a whole shipment of red honey. Alternately, earn Isery's admiration to reduce the cost. Ooh, okay. Honey tongue. Meeting with the cat's claw. Accept the offer. Wonderful. Utterly delightful. Isery is all smiles and Genial bonhomie. I shall start thinking of a task fit for your talent, something special. Run along now. There's a good captain. I have a delivery for the alarming scholar in London. They tell you over a meal of fungus blossom and sea lily soup. A delivery that needs to pass beneath the notice of the revenue. Isery places a casket on the table and slides it open with a dull click. Inside are vials of what is unmistakably red honey. It gleams malevolently. You are hardly squeamish about smuggling red honey. If you change your mind, you could always turn the shipment over to Admiralty instead. That's all for now. Here now favors the antiquarian. You have combed the Z for stories and other treasures. Okay. Very nice. I've gained a secret. Okay. Invite the cannoneer to dine with you. I need torpedo components and 5 supplies. Oh, wow. Increase your iron. Spend a secret to improve your iron unless it's higher than 100. The ship must be in good shape to sustain the impact of the cannoneer's experiments. Full 10. Secret. Do I need to improve my iron or my hearts? Let's improve my hearts. Okay. Do we want to go back to Visage? Or do we want to go to the surface? The main canal. Oops, I'm going full power. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, let's go back to the Iron Republic, actually, and get more. If I have the room for it. The waves are flecked with light. Ah! Missed. Forward-mounted weapon with unusual characteristics. Cavalry doctrine is open for business. Okay. I have enough fuel to go to the surface. Full power. Get the fuck out of here. No lights on, so they can't find me. Okay. Put the light back on. Command canal. Command canal. Comes doom. Right there. Just gotta fix my screen a little bit, but we're almost to the command canal, I believe. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment and then fades. Okay, so we can travel to the surface. And I think once we travel to the surface and finish that, I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's been a little bit today. 2 supplies, 22 fuel. Visit the surface, I got an achievement. The sun is dangerous to Neath dwellers like your crew, but the surface has its temptations. The coils of the earth. The engineers of the canal took advantage of existing caves and passages where they could. In ancient times, this was a passage to the underworld, they say. But still, the labor must have been staggering. The story goes that the masters of the bazaar lent their arts and allies to the task. But the surface nations played down the fact. Certainly, some of the tunnels look blasted or tunneled. Others look dissolved? Stone pigs, a stoker whispers. Stone pigs. I've moved to a new area. You've lost 25 terror, 10 fuel, 1 supplies. A Zaylor is praying. The light, it's pretty. Ooh. The canal emerges in the little lake called Avernus. A warm breeze ruffles blue waters. You and your crew shelter like vampires from the light, with awnings, curtains, and broad brimmed hats. Poplars, birdsong, and warmth of the companion sun. Fill your mirror catch box. I do have an empty one. To Naples. The very last stretch of the canal turns overland by the Bay of Bacoli, and it's easily run down the Tyrrhenian coast to Naples. Okay. The sky is a blue hot metal. Cicadas buzz like a headache. This is no place for an honest Zaylor. You need 10 fuel and 2 supplies to return. To Naples. The trees are the dusty green of old jade, the hills tawny as a lion. You are pale as milk, all of you. Crews splash in the canal whenever they can to cool themselves after the heat of the sun. It's not right up here, your bosun confides. I keep thinking I'm gonna fall off up. But it calms the heart to look at, don't it? The longer you spend up here, the more may die. This includes you. Ooh. In Naples. Even by night, the port of Naples is alive with shouts and laughter and work song. The roar of engines, brick warehouses loom over the moon-dazzled bay. By day, you try to stay below the decks. The sun hits like a hammer, and the wind always seems to come straight from the struggling sewers of the slums. I don't have enough echo to buy a train ticket to Vienna. Don't have enough echo to spend time with shore or fuel. I can purchase supplies. Really well tonight. Return to Avernus. I lost 1 fuel. Have you survived another day? Return below. Down into the dark and the quiet. No birdsong, no surface wars, no raucous peasants. Still water, the glint of eyes. Wow. Surface gossip. Wow. Okay. So I only have 2 fuel left. And nothing to... Okay, let's get out of here. Hopefully we'll get back to London. And then it'll save, right? So that was interesting. That travel to the surface. We can do it again. Mutton Island. Can we get fuel at Mutton Island? Blood on the wind. Home water. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. Quaker's Haven. Buy fuel. Echo. Fisherfolk, sailors, a shady couple of likely pirates. Is that a drowny down by the water's edge? Or wagering on riddles, will you join them? So that just saved, so I think I'm gonna stop here for now. Thank you for hanging out with me in the chat, or lurking in the background, or watching back on this VOD later. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the game as much as I am. On Tuesday, I will be playing more of The Long Dark. Maybe more of this too. Like an hour of each, maybe. We'll see. But I want to give a shout out to my Patreon members for supporting me, past and present. I really appreciate it. If you want to support my art or my gameplay videos, follow me at ArtGhosts, ARTGH0STS, on Blue Sky, Patreon, or Coffee. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day. I will see you Tuesday evening.